The Mets took it to them, and I really don't think at this point we could put any more ceiling on this team. Anything's possible. They continue to show us how good they've been.
Sal, that was a great win. That wasn't a good one. That was a great win. You just think about, like, there were so many times where it could have gone the other way, and whether it was during the game or even some of the decisions that obviously the Mets made going into the game. I mean, Milwaukee comes out, they score 2 in the first, bang, Mets come back 3 in the second. Milwaukee 2 in the fourth, Mets come back with 5 in the fifth. Every time Milwaukee did something, the Mets did something back. We talked about, should Winker start? He did. Reward, 2-run triple. The energy, obviously him and Adames going back and forth. And then you pinch hit J.D. Martinez, and we talked about him a lot. He delivers a 2-run single. Severino, kind of on the ropes a little bit after 4 innings, 78, 79 pitches. Could have easily pulled him. He did not. He stuck with him. That got rewarded. You squeezed 6 more outs out of him. This is a Milwaukee Brewers team that is going to apply pressure. We talked about this. They said it late yesterday. However, they determined this through StatCast, like they're the fastest team. That's the quickest way to say it. The fastest team in baseball, and they came out and they looked pretty quick. That ball that was hit at Vientos to start, you got to make that play. Instead, it's a double, and the Mets are on the ropes, and they come right back undeterred, symbolic of who they've been so far all season. Great win.
And my favorite thing about this team, because, it was a great win, no question about it, and they didn't look like they didn't have the energy or anything like that. Even with the bullpen, obviously, it didn't impact them. It was a perfectly executed ball game from the Mets standpoint. Again, the Vientos stuff, that was a miscue, but he more than made up for it offensively. But they have a plan of attack, and their plan is better than their opponent's plan. Like, when you look at this Mets team and think, how the hell is this team? We even went over the roster yesterday, and I had my doubts about this series and the matchup with the Brewers. But you wonder, how the hell is this team doing what they've done all year long when you look at the roster and it just doesn't have those big stars, or whether it's in the rotation or in the bullpen or on the field itself. But then you watch them play, and they have an answer for everything. We talked about their lineup going in yesterday, and that should not be overlooked. We thought it was the perfect lineup with Winker, the lefty, in there. And what does he do? He produces in that spot. So that's a win for the Mets front office and Carlos Mendoza putting him in there. How about the idea of having Nimmo hit third in front of Vientos, which they're probably thinking down the road when a pitching change gets made, maybe somebody's going to be forced to bring in a lefty to get Nimmo, which to me at that point was the game-changing play. Pat Murphy got undressed in this game because if you know anything about the Mets and Brandon Nimmo, is that bringing in a lefty to him does nothing. It's a wash. So you're then bringing in a lefty to face Nimmo, where if he doesn't get Nimmo in that spot, he's got to face Vientos, and that's a huge win for the Mets. And it played out exactly that way. And then again, going to a lefty against Winker, where what do you think he was going to do? He's going to counter with J.D. Martinez. Again, Pat Murphy managed that game, and he had no clue afterward. The Mets are just smarter. Then you look at the end of the game. You got Acuna playing second. You move Iglesias to third. Vientos out. Bader in center field, upgrading the defense. They have answers for everything. Their depth and their versatility is why, and they're smart, is why the Mets have had as much success as they've had this year.
Well, I'll tell you this. I do, like, the script yesterday was very interesting, and we just hit many of the reasons why. I don't know if they want to try to win this way against this team again tonight. Like, you love to see just a 3-run bomb.
Right.
Maybe a little more conventional offensive output. I mean, how many times are you going to beat a throw to first base by diving head first? Now, I know that's the Mets style.
Oh, Iglesias specifically. I mean, that's what he does.
He does do that. And it's amazing. If he runs through the bag, and I'm not a proponent of going head first, because when you go head first, you truly decelerate. I mean, it's physically proven through physics that you slow down, because just to get in a position to go head first, you have to slow down a tick. But that was the right move there, and even though it was a tick slower, it actually just based on the foot and the bag and the hands. So, I mean, he read that perfectly, but, I mean, does that happen again tonight? I don't know. Does J.D. Martinez's, 5-hopper final? I don't know. But I do know that they've got a grit, which we've known about. They've got a resourcefulness that we've certainly come to enjoy and respect. But this is not the kind of series where you want to have too many more games like last night because that's what the Brewers do better than anybody in baseball.
Right. I don't think they need a game like they had last night. Tonight should be a different. The Mets needed it last night because they didn't have the pitching. Well, tonight they have the pitching lined up. But one more on last night, or not just one more, but one more thing from that inning, too. The Brewers. What's the thing the Brewers are known for? Yes, chaos on the base paths, but also their defense. Churio makes a great play on Starling Marte, and then he misreads one that opened the floodgates, and the Mets took advantage of that. That's what they do, BT. They put the bat on the ball. They keep the line moving. Don't need a big home run. Get base hits. Now maybe tonight Minaya goes out there, shuts them down, and somebody hits a big home run for the Mets, and then they have Diaz for a couple innings. Whatever. Like, you don't know the formula. Last night, though, it was perfect, and it was just a perfectly executed plan by the Mets. They have the right game plan going in. Dating back to the Subway Series, where I was like, oh, God, why are you going with, this matchup? I want this guy. You're avoiding Severino. Because they looked at the matchups and said, this guy, these lefties, we throw the lefties at the Yankees, they can't handle them. And it worked all 4 games. That's just one example of the Mets using their smarts as what they have. So, okay, we need this here. We need this there. We need this. Then go out there and lay it out and then execute it. It was just a perfect, beautiful start to a postseason. And now, again, I'm not saying the Mets are going to the World Series.
Now you got to be pumped, dude. Come on, you went away from moving on.
Yeah, I don't think that. I think they have as good a chance as anybody else to win the World Series.
I don't know how anybody can say that they don't. I mean, now there's varying degrees of confidence and varying degrees of stamping that statement. Like agreeing with it. You could, I would tacitly agree with that because I do think other teams have more talent. But I'm not going to say that they don't have a chance. Listen, here's what I've learned about these Mets. They are and. Boy, this is very rare in baseball. They are very comfortable being uncomfortable. And that's their MO. Like, they just don't get rattled.
To your point, down 2-0 in that game, the normal feel is, it's a postseason game. You're on the road. They're tired. Boom, they come right back.
I know.
They have confidence, but they've been doing it all year. They've been resilient, and that's not going away. Doesn't mean they can't be beat. That resiliency is not going away. That was a fun game last night, and this is a special group. BT and Sal on the Fan, our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Chris is in Manhattan. What's up, Chris?
That game was awesome. That was inspired baseball, guys. That rally, all on 2 outs. Incredible. And you know what? They actually, their offense was like the way the Brewers would be against us. It's amazing what they did. They changed their approach, and it worked big time. And putting Vientos in the 4th slot, loved it. Mendoza just managed his butt off. Terrific.
He actually didn't even have to manage his butt off. He sat back and let their game plan going in just played out perfectly, and Milwaukee walked right into it. Like, Pat Murphy didn't have a clue as to what he was doing. I did not have a major issue with him taking Peralta out, BT. I know people been getting on him for that because I felt even early on before the run started to come, the Mets were having very comfortable at-bats. Yeah. Taking good hacks. They all looked locked in to a man, taking very comfortable at-bats. I had an issue with him going to a lefty against Nimmo. That, to me, was idiotic.
Yeah, well, with Vientos back there in that place got very quiet, too. You notice that? It went from loud to quiet, and that's the way you start it, dude. I mean, listen, we can just run down the game, and we did many components here already, but just the feel watching the game, you now believe that the Mets, like when they're staggering a little bit and trying to find the ropes, like they're gonna find the ropes, and they're gonna get to the stool, and they're gonna recalibrate a bit. And they're going to come out and throw some more punches.
He brings in Pat Murphy, who everybody's saying the manager of the year. He brings in a lefty to face Nimmo, which is just foolish because Nimmo's got equal splits, like it doesn't matter. And then you know that you have to leave him in. So if Nimmo gets on, he's going to face Vientos, which is a deadly matchup. You don't want that. Then he intentionally walked Alonso.
Yeah.
Which, it's Pat Murphy, like it's not 2019. Just pitch to Pete in that spot because he's thinking, I don't want to pitch to Pete. So with the lefty on righty, so I'm going to go after Winker. And then Mendoza just countered with J.D. Martinez. It was Pat Murphy got run out of the building yesterday, got undressed by the Mets in their plan. I'll tell you, BT, I don't think I've seen a deeper, smarter team in a very, very long time than what the Mets have right now. Jeff is in Manhattan. What's up, Jeff?
Hey, what's up, guys? 2 things. Listen, I'm a diehard Yankee fan. The Mets are real, man. I fear the Mets more than any team in the National League. The Mets are real. They have this fight in them. It's incredible.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
Definitely wouldn't use the word fear. I think that's nuts. But are they real? Yeah. I mean, everybody that's playing right now is real. So,
yeah.
No, the Braves aren't.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's one game. Yeah. Let's see what happens. I hear you.
They just look like
they look bad.
They look like a beaten team.
They might be.
Ran out of gas. All the injuries.
And something else. Listen, guys. If the Mets keep on playing like this in the Soto sweepstakes, they might not have to outbid the Yankees by much, man.
Hey, but Jeff, here's the thing, and thank you for the call. And we'll get into plenty of Soto. Right now, Mets don't even care about Juan Soto. Like, that's it. I'm telling you, I was the first one who said, Soto, got to get Soto. He's irrelevant. The Mets could go win a World Series right now. Who gives a crap about Juan Soto? Yankees should care about Juan Soto. Mets don't have to worry about that right now. Everything they're doing is fine. It doesn't mean that you wouldn't want to upgrade. Obviously, in the offseason, they're going to have to address that there. But right now, I think the Mets have as good a chance as anybody. Which I didn't feel like that. And I don't know if that's just like history of being a Met fan or trying to see through what I'm really watching and hope and believe and use logic and think like, all right, at some point, can maybe catch up with them. You got to be a tired team. Milwaukee, all they got to do is win 2 games at home. But then you watch it last night. I don't know how you can't believe in this team.
I do. I still, and again, this is, I don't even want to get into this now because it takes away from the win. But since it is big picture-ish, last caller said, fear and whatever, they're legit, and so far they've proven to be pretty legit here. They're not going to win without Pete. I mean, we're going to come back to that at some point. Eventually, Pete's going to have to hit, but that's not the discussion right now.
No, but I like that discussion because they haven't had to win so far with them.
I know. But
here we are. I mean, they already won a postseason game. Man. They got there without him. They won a game without him.
Understood. I know. It's one game. Listen, these things flip fast. They flip fast positively and they flip fast negatively. So as amazing as last night was, and I hope we get the same thing tonight. I hope the Mets win and I hope they get to chill. Hope they move on to round 2. We'll get to the Yankees this weekend. Let's get this thing going deep into October. Let's have some fun. But it can easily be Brewers 7, Mets 1 tomorrow, and Met fans are terrified, and Pete's, 1 for 9, right. and everything's different. Like, he's going to have to hit at some point.
Yeah, I mean, even if they lost tonight, now the difference is they have their ace on the mound tonight. Tonight's a game where Sean Manaea, and there's another level or layer to the conversation, where Manaea's got to go out there and be the stopper. And their bullpen, their A bullpen, is lined up to have success tonight. So if they lose, it will be a terrible disappointment. But yeah, I mean, that's what happens in these series. But this team has proven all year long that they can win without Pete Alonso. What's another series or two? Antonio in Manhattan. What's up, Antonio?
Hey, what's up, Sal? What's up,
BT? Yeah.
I guess, yeah. Okay, man. So this is the thing, man. The Mets haven't accomplished nothing. So people getting all hyped up about the Mets. Let's see what happens. This is the thing. I think this game is crucial. Your favorite pitcher, Frankie Montas, is pitching today. So this is the thing, right? The Brewers are going to come hard at the Mets. I mean, the first 2 innings, they're going to come hard.
Oh, well, I hope they were coming. I would hope they were coming hard last night in Game 1. I mean, what are we waiting for here? It's the postseason.
I'm telling you, the intensity is going to be hard.
Antonio, it's the playoffs, bro. It's the playoffs. They should be coming hard from the get-go.
The thing is, they're going to be desperate, man. So what's the thing here? Basically, knock out Montas. That's basically what you have to do. This guy is basically, a 5 ERA pitcher? You have to basically go hard at this guy because I'm telling you, the Brewers, man, people think, oh, yeah, that's it. It's over. It's not over.
No. Nobody
said that.
No, nobody said it's over, but you said the Mets haven't accomplished anything yet. Where are you getting your facts from?
Yeah, no. I'm just saying that, look, the goal here is to win the World Series. So this is not about, okay, yeah, they got into the playoffs. Okay, they did better, than we expected. Okay, but let's win this series. Then the Phillies,
yeah, well, they're trying to.
That's my goal, man.
They're trying to win this series, and thanks for the call. Trying to win this series. They've played one postseason game, and they've won it in convincing fashion, I might add. Now, anything could happen, sure, but what? Oh, the Brewers are going to come hard tonight? It was Game 1 last night.
Brewers scored 2 in the first yesterday. I thought they started pretty hard yesterday, no?
Yeah. I mean, and they had their best pitcher going yesterday. The Mets, look, what happens, anything could happen. The results may vary, but I'd rather be put in the Mets position right now than anybody else. With Sean Manaea on the mound, with their bullpen rested from yesterday, that's what I mean.
That's the key. That's a huge thing.
Yeah.
Sevy squeezing out those extra, and the easiest thing would have been, all right, you're done. 4 innings, 79 pitches. Let's go. But he was managing 2 games. He was managing the one that he was managing, and he was looking ahead to today. And there was a roll of the dice, and he got rewarded. Severino rewarded him. What do you get? 6 more outs.
And that's why I say it's a perfect inning. And Severino thought he was, perfect game. That's why Severino thought he was going to be out of there. But for him to go 6 innings, hand it over to Buto, who goes a solid 2, Stanek, like the Mets didn't even use their A stuff last night. Offensively, yes, but didn't even use their, maybe not even. They used their best stuff offensively. Hey, you're right. Little base hit here, little base hit there. Take advantage of a bad defense. You didn't even see the power on full display for the Mets. It was a perfect game. Does it mean they're going to win the next, tonight or tomorrow even? Who the hell knows? We'll see, but I'm very comfortable and happy and surprised. Maybe I shouldn't be, but I was surprised with that result yesterday.
I was surprised the way they came back. If we got off the air, I don't know. I don't even know if we really made a prediction. You said you were a little worried about the series.
I thought Milwaukee was a bad matchup for them.
Yeah, I mean, listen, at this point, what do predictions mean?
Yeah.
I mean, we all want the Mets to move on so we could have some fun here, but I didn't make an official prediction. I think that the Brewers probably, at least going into the series, a little bit better. But I don't, it means nothing right now. You've seen this time and time again. And just take the Mets from 88. I mean, they should have mopped the floor with the Dodgers. They didn't.
Right.
October's nuts, and the Mets are off to a good start. Really good start.
Jerry's in Brooklyn. What's up, Jerry?
Hey, Jer.
What's up, fellas? How you doing?
Good. What's up?
I just wanted to say, it feels great to be a Met fan today, but besides that, could you imagine this guy Alonso if they actually we had this premier bat in this lineup right now? I mean, I watched him last night on he get ahead in the count and a 96 right down the middle. They're throwing literally right at him. This guy could get this contract straightened out next year if he has a big postseason. If we had this bat in this lineup and he was what he's supposed to be, then you could talk about a World Series. But I think without him doing what he's supposed to do, it's going to be tough, guys. It's going to be real tough.
Yeah, I mean, that's bigger picture, and, that's going to creep into the conversation because until Pete's either gone or re-signed, he's still here, and he's not re-signed, so it's a massive talking point. I agree. Listen, they've won a lot without him, and Sal, you just said that. You're not wrong. I think, to go multiple series without any real influence from Pete seems to me unrealistic, but they've also defied a lot of logic so far.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would enhance their chances if Pete started being an impactful player, but he hasn't gotten in the way so far, and he hasn't gotten a big hit all year long. The Mets are still here. We said the same thing. Hey, down the stretch, at some point, they're going to need Pete to get going to get them into the postseason. They didn't. All right, well, they're going to need Pete in the postseason. So far for a night, they didn't. Maybe at some point they will need him. So far, they've survived without Pete Alonso being impactful. Now, if he does, it could make them even that much more dangerous. BT and Sal on the Fan, more your calls.